to the class.
All right, so welcome to episode
Oh,
2 of our nope, not legends. That's a book I'm gonna read. A lattes and lore podcast.
lattes and
Um,
lore.
yes, so we're diving in to Sarah J. Maas's whole
Yes,
universe. So
the
here's your
whole Maasverse.
spoiler warning. If you have not read all of A Court of Thorns and Roses, all of Throne of Glass, and the three Crescent City books that are out, do not listen to this podcast.
Or if you want to, you
I
can.
mean, you
Just
can, but things will get
know,
spoiled.
just know
So,
we're gonna
like,
we're gonna be dropping bombs.
yeah, because it's all on the board. Canon,
Yes,
theories, all the fun things. We're diving into some of our favorites, depending on how unhinged they are or hot takes.
yes,
All of it is going to be a great time.
we
So,
love it.
anyway, do you want to get started on
Sure,
hot
sure.
takes or theories? What do you want to start
I've
with?
let's just take one hot take and we'll just open it up with something that's like really not super deep. Is
Yeah.
what is sunball?
I
What is sunball?
pictured soccer or rugby when I read it
See, the
because they're
more we
playing on a field.
yes, that is a good idea. In my head, it was basketball. That's what it was. It was like
Could
NFL
see
basketball.
that because, but like the ancient like Mayans played a version of basketball
Yes,
outside, so
yes.
like I can see that. But like in my brain, I pictured rugby or soccer.
Right. And like I wanted to
Like
picture like football, like American football,
right.
but it just didn't work out because there's no like pads or
And they
gear
don't
or
really talk about tackling, so I was leaning more
mm-mm.
towards soccer, but I'm also
Right.
like that also begs the question, what sport is in the Prithian first? Because it talks about Amryn is excited about a sport, and I'm like, but it
Yes.
never mentions it again.
Never again.
And I'm like,
So
oh,
there
who's it?
is who knows?
Oh my.
Who knows? In my head it is NFL basketball or like something like that, but I've
Yeah.
seen people where they say it's like baseball and I don't get the baseball vibe.
I
It
don't get that. Not that like you have to be incredibly like
right.
ball aware to play baseball, so no shade
Right.
to anyone, like, but I'm like, I just think the way they talk about his mind for like defense and stuff like that, it's gotta be something else, like a
It's got to be
contact sport.
it's got to be something a
Like,
little bit more aggressive, but I
yeah,
love looking at people being like, "What do you think sunball
I know.
is?"
I love that. I want it to be volleyball just because I love
Ah,
volleyball, but like
yes.
that's not what it is at
No, it's
all.
definitely no, there's no, it's definitely not volleyball. But we love that theory that it is volleyball. But I just in my head, I that's what I like. I think
Yeah.
basketball. But the more I think about it, like soccer makes more sense,
Yeah.
or like something like soccer.
Well, that's why I went with like it being soccer or
Right,
rugby because I'm like, there's not a lot of equipment involved in either one of those
right.
sports. You got like shin guards, cleats, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. But at the same time,
You know,
like Sarah J. Maas is American. So I don't know like which sport she would
could be field
consider.
Hockey,
It could be field hockey.
or
It
like
could be.
lacrosse. That would be a
Oh
fun.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
water polo. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Handball.
Yes,
That
handball.
one.
Oh, it's all
It's pickleball. It's not that intense. It's just pickleball.
professional
Take it
pickleball.
back. Yeah. Hey,
Yes.
there's professional cornhole. After
There's
2020, there's
professional
a cornhole league, and I'm
anything.
like, where was that 10 years ago? Me and
Who
Daniel could have
right?
owned cornhole 10
Right.
years
I'm just
ago.
like now I couldn't play corn. Like I couldn't play if you tried to. I feel like I could might get back in the groove. Couldn't do it.
Once you throw a few,
Yeah, kind of
it
gets
comes back.
kind of get
Yeah.
it, and you got to get your
Um,
sight right. So
I
that was
love
my
that.
first theory
Yeah. Um,
or question. I
my
guess I should
like,
say question.
yeah. My number one question out of the whole thing is where the crap is Vaughn?
Right.
Is it is it
I have a
is it
whole
a miss?
section.
Right, like is it just a miss edit? Like we didn't wrap that up and we meant to? Cause like where did
He
he
went north.
go?
He went north.
But it's like okay, north of Terracin is the Staghorn Mountains on that
Right.
continent. So
Right.
like that's where the wolf tribes are.
Right.
That's where Aelin
So
found them. So I'm like, is Vaughn just chilling? Like
who knows? I
You know,
no
like,
no one knows where
where'd you
Vaughn
go,
is.
man? Like, he's got some solid skills. Because, like, if he felt that bond break, I'd have been peacing out too.
Right?
Like,
That's he
bye.
may be gone. He may be gone
Like,
somewhere. But it's
Cadre
kind of
who?
yeah,
Like, where
right.
are you know? Like, where is he?
Where is Vaughn? Is Victoria going to stay at the bottom of the ocean?
For real, though. I'm like,
Is she going to be there? Who? Why bring Knox Owen back up and not talk any more about him in
he
Throne of
never
Glass?
comes back up. Like, I expected him to pop back up in Orinth at the end.
Right. Or like be a spy somewhere in the middle because he was very conniving and he was such a big person
Well, like,
in
in
Throne of Glass.
right, and like him and Aelin had such a good connection when she was
Yes.
Selena, and I'm like,
Right.
he doesn't get to talk to her after
No.
all the things, like
Nope.
all the other nuggets of all kind acts of kindness or how you save the world, except that
Yep.
one. She saved his life.
And that's it. And
I mean,
he's
like,
gone,
yes,
bye.
he helped out
Eh.
Adian and then moved the army when they shouldn't have, but
Yeah.
like other than that, like where'd he go?
Where'd you go? It was nice to
Dead?
see you back.
Like,
Yeah, right.
like
Like
where
what
is he?
happened? But then it's kind of like Dorian's brother Holland. They just shipped him off with his mom
Well,
outside of court.
and like it doesn't bring up where his with where Georgina is either.
No,
Like after
not
that, like
one
it
bit.
it tells you what about Kale's mom. She's gonna
Yes.
come live with him and Irene. I'm like, that's
Yep.
cool. They
Cool.
deserve that after like years of letters of him like thinking his mom just like, bye, I don't have a
Yeah.
son. I'm like, okay, you
Poor
rather
Kay.
that. I know.
Poor Kay all. That's the only little bit of if you see me look around, my cats are just like running around
All
my
good, all
feet
good.
and I'm just like, okay, cats. But it's kind of like they made such a point to say like how horrible Holland is and
That he was
like
like tainted and evil and all these things. He was like
yes,
10 or 11. Like he
yes,
was
and
young.
right. And like there was a point in I think it's Queen of Shadows. It's either Queen of Shadows or Empire of Storms, one of those two. I want to say it's Empire of Storms because Dorian has some sort of consciousness, um, where he says like his father who was Vogue infected
Yeah.
made it or like procreated with his mother so is part of him Vogue and
Right.
Dorian has that inner struggle of is he
Yeah,
Vogue,
but
is
he
he
was like, I'll
not,
bleed whatever color
I'll
you
bleed
want me
whatever color
to.
you want.
What? Yes. But he's having that inner struggle, and he doesn't ever get an answer until he talks to Gavin while he's holding Damaris, and he was like, oh, I'm human. And it's like, yes, you are.
But that brings the
But,
question, is Holland Vogue?
right. But I'm like, I don't know, because like Dory just mentions, like, yeah, I didn't go send anyone to grab my mom and my
Nope.
brother. I just left them in the mountains. I'm like, which
Yep.
mountains? Because
Which
like
mountains? And that could lead us into mountains. And
there's a big thing on mountains in her world. I'm like,
there
and we know
is.
she loves the mountains because like she talks about I'm going to the mountains to write. I'm like, okay, so
Right.
they're
And I'm
always
like,
significant.
okay.
And it's like mountains in like three ranges are
Yes.
significant
Yes.
mostly.
And like,
So
what's under the mountain? What's under Ramiel? Like,
I really want to know because like it was sacred under the mountain, even
right.
before Amarantha, I can't talk. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
before she tainted
That
it and
hoe.
built her court, I know. Like it was their sacred meeting spot.
Right.
Creepily in the middle that no one's allowed to go to, but
Right.
like yeah, I have lots of questions about the middle, but we'll get
The
there in a
middle,
second.
the middle, Rifthold, Midgard. I mean,
Yes, there's some
she
I'm
is
like
intentionally using phrases.
absolutely. Yes.
I just love it. Like the amount, like I have a whole little thing because, like the Blackbeak, the Rune Mountains, Rune, hello, Rune Dannon, Crown Prince of Balbarn Pay.
He only knows three things. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We're
That's
very
what
glad
I
he loves.
instantly knew he was one of my favorite characters when it said
Yes.
that. It was like he knew three things. I was like,
He knew
yes,
three things.
this
We
is
love his
why.
three things he knows.
Oh, he
We
has such
won't
a
make that a
tragic.
spoiler. You should read what three things Rune
Yeah,
Dannon
but he
knows.
has such a tragic story. He really does. I'm
He
like,
yeah,
oh,
he kind of is like to me in my head, like he and Lucian have the same like tragic
Yes.
upbringing with their parents, like the daddy
I
issues,
just
the
picture two
physical abuse,
super hot
like
emo people walking around.
yeah,
That's what
and
I
one has
picture
got
one of
brown hair, or one has
them.
got like
Yeah.
emo black hair, and the other has got like emo red hair, and they
Yes.
swoop the other ways,
It's
and
like,
they just walk around like brooding all the time.
yes, that's what I picture. Uh, but it's true though, because it's like, okay, we know what's under the
Through the
mountain.
mountain. So it's
And then
capable of having stuff under it.
there was obviously crap under the prison, which was built into a mountain. Like that led to a whole fun,
The
there
prison is
was
a whole world of
a zombie
whatever.
hysteria under there, that we
Right.
woke up and then killed. So like, hey.
Diary.
Which also makes me always wonder because in that scene when it's talking about all of that, like it's like obsidian salt and like all this stuff. I'm like, is that a weird
Mm,
connection to Endovir? Was Endovir
it's gotta be.
mountains?
Listen, it's
Or
on
was
my
it
other
just
page.
like, but you know what I mean? I'm like, what salt were they mining in Endovir? It
Yes,
just says salt
because
mines.
salt is a huge thing in Crescent City. Like it's a huge thing in Midgard.
Yeah, because it's how you do lots of stuff. It's just like the other slave encampment, which blanks my brain at the moment.
Oh,
But
what is it?
it doesn't say it's a
Oh,
salt mine. It's just like
it's
where they
just like
had
an
people.
incant. What is
Yeah.
it? It's
Um,
not Eelway. Oh, we'll think of it in the middle of the night and be like, that's it.
that's fine. Hopefully it's not important in the next couple books coming out.
Hopefully not. The slave prison. So sorry.
Right. But like
That's what we
there's
got.
a big focus on the types of salt
Yeah.
and stuff. So I'm like, okay. And it's misty and all this other stuff. I'm
Mist.
like,
Mist like the mist of the pool of Irid where Nesta has to go get the mask out of
yes. And I'm also
the
like, where did all those undead soldiers come from? Like, how many centuries and millennia ago was that? Is
right.
what I would
Like
like
is
to
it from
know.
the first war? Is it from did they world walk? Did they get trapped in a pool, like a star pool
Well, because
or
like this will tie into some others, but like Amryn showed up through a rift, essentially, was sent
right?
there with her brethren or whatever.
Hold on.
You
We have a
know,
visitor that wants to make an appearance.
hey,
This is
macaroni can have some hot book takes too. I
what
like
do you
it.
think, Mac Mac? So we know that Amryn came through
Yeah,
a rift. We
and
know
then it
that
closed. So I'm
right.
like,
We know that look at how perfect he's just like posing.
he's so cute.
He is so cute. We know that like there are different you can't jump on the desk though. You can just sit and meow and be cute. Um, we know that Maeve is a world walker. We know that world walking is a thing because we saw Reese slow down Aelin falling through the worlds. So we
Right,
know that that's something that can happen. But where'd they come from? Where'd they go? Where is?
right. So I'm like, okay, they were there, and like that's where the mask
Mm-hmm.
was. Did the mask show up when they did? Is that how they hid it? Because
And it's
she
kind of
said the
like
trove kind of hides itself,
right,
even with all the like calls to like stuff. But also, I'm like, so when that rift opened, is that the same rift
mm-hmm.
Maeve came through to like Winland area?
Right.
Like
Who
is
knows?
Amber? I don't know if she's like an Asteri or Daglin or whatever, but like she's something like a death god,
She is
a
something that is godlike. She is not a
because yeah, she's not fake. Like she's is fake
right,
now because like she can actually eat real food. She doesn't have to have like
right.
blood, which I'm like
Right. Which like who eats
interesting.
blood? Like the bone carver. He sorry, the cat is just
No, you're
obsessed with me
good. But
today.
I'm just like, okay, you went from only being able to consume blood, so you're like some type of vampire, but you can be out in the sun, so like you're not a
You're
vampire that
not a
I know.
vampire,
Like
but you're some kind of beast in human form, maybe?
right, because she doesn't she couldn't take her normal form to get out of the prison, so like she just
Right,
picked a fae.
right.
Ironically, she picked a fae that come from I have it in my notes because
The dawn.
a lot of them fled to the Dawn Court. The it
Mm-hmm.
starts with a Z, the Zion
Okay,
area.
yeah.
They were big bads, had a lot of money, wanted to keep their human slaves and everything. So they were on like Hybern side in like the first war that they mentioned in our
Right,
story. A lot of them fled to the Dawn Court, but
right.
that's also like Fury, it's noted and Amryn look alike. So I'm like,
exactly. And
interesting. When
right,
did
and
Amryn come in contact with those Fae to know that's what they look like? Because you would have thought
right,
she'd have got out in Valaris or in the Night Court and picked
hmm
one of those Fae. It's specifically
right,
noted for a reason.
right.
It's
And
just
it's kind of
odd.
like, if she looks alike and she looks like that, is she, able to shapeshift? Is she some sort of shape-shifting beast? Is she,
Right.
and then we got to go back to like Fury. Is she the mercenary at the beginning of Akatar?
I don't know, but have always loved that theory that
I do
that's
too.
Fury. And I'm like, that would
Yes.
make sense because they never know where Fury's at.
Right. And it's kind of like, we, it's very clear when you reread Akatar that like that person is not human. Like they have very different
And
qualities.
she
They're
just sells with a presence that like and
hmm
nobody knows like what her gifts are.
right.
They
They
don't
just
ever mention
know.
it. They just
Mm-mm.
know like she's a merc. Like
Right.
she
Like
is
that's
a
it.
known on the payroll for and takes out big
Yep.
bads and you don't mess with
Right.
Fury.
Which sounds
Like,
just like Fury. Like,
yeah. And I'm like, because she immediately knew what Feyre had.
yes, she
She
did.
immediately knew it was Fae related.
Right. Which means she could probably smell it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's like, so, it's one of those, it's just, there's so many similarities between all of the worlds, but there's not that connecting
Well,
book yet.
and it's also hard because you don't know the for sure timeline or how time is
Right. And
perceived.
right. And then we can kind of jump into timeline kind of stuff
Yeah. Well, because
because
like I know we've talked about there's theories out there I love, but I'm like it doesn't make
mhm.
sense with what little we can tell from the timeline because like
Right.
Throne of Glass World and Akatar World are running very close to each other.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Crescent City picks up kind of after both the wars in Tog
Yes.
and Akatar,
Yes.
based
Yes.
off like a few clues there.
Right. But then it's
And it's like, because
but
it's,
the
I don't, it's just hard. I'm like, how, like my one of my favorite theories, and it doesn't track, is that Caltaine is a surreal.
oh
I
God, I just
love that
love
because
that
I'm
theory.
like,
She loves a cloak.
she
She
had like that cool
loves
shadow
she
fire
she loves to
and
spray like
love the
spill
warm
the
cloak.
tea.
Yeah, but she knows the things because
Yep.
she observes it. But I'm like, I love that. Like, she essentially yielded or made the drop
Right. She
when
had
she
to
just
have
like imploded and destroyed Morath. And I'm like, I love the fact she
something.
could have world walked and she's the surreal, but the timeline doesn't match.
Right. And like the more I think about the timeline, the more I think that like maybe Akatar and Throne of Glass happened at the same time. Like, because
Yes.
that in my head makes sense because we know that because I went back.
Yeah.
I went back to Kingdom of Ash. I went back to chapter 99 if anybody needs to read it for themselves. So we know that Feyre and Reese, no, yes, no, yes, Feyre and Reese are together. And we know that we don't know, we can assume. So when Aelin is falling, it kind of goes in order. The first thing she comes to is a great city built along a river with glimmering lights and tall buildings, which we can assume is Midgard.
Right.
But we don't know how long Midgard has been there for. So we don't know like what point Midgard is there. The second thing she comes to, okay, so everybody knows about Midgard and everybody knows that like she thinks we're pretty good. There are two more worlds. There are two more worlds that nobody ever talks about. Their first world says she's a world of rain and green and wind, which is I have no idea, man. I
Yeah.
I'm excited. I hope that that's another series that connects. Maybe it's a Valen. Maybe she fall through Midgard to a Valen to
Could
then
be because with like the mist around a
right
Valen, it
mist
could have
again. We're
kind
back to
of
mist. Are you done,
changed
macaroni? Are you done
kind of
with the
change how she was falling. But I'm like, I love that it could be two separate worlds that we might get to
yes,
see
yes.
because before you
But
finish, go ahead and finish because I'll add something.
I think it all just kind of clicked in my head. Uh, sorry, a cat. Back. Um, I think the first three worlds are all in the Crescent City universe
Could
because
be.
It sounds like Midgard. It sounds like a Valen because we know that a Valen is very foresty, very traditional fantasy like. It's not like Midgard. They don't have
Yeah.
electricity all the time, Or I don't remember if they have electricity at
It's
all.
very like typical fantasy worlds that don't have a
Right.
lot of extras,
Right.
you know.
Well, then the third world is the world of oceans, which could be which hot take. I love Therian.
Oh no.
I'm so E- Ethan can go jump. No, I don't want anyone to go jump off of anything. But Ethan's storyline could have had so much potential, and I'm hoping that
I
maybe
wanted
he's
to
got a
skip their chapter so bad and
Ethan's
Flame and
Ethan's
Shadow.
Ethan's yes, Therian's I'm obsessed with. I loved the Little Mermaid,
Oh,
the whole mermaid thing. Like I'm the kid in the pool that's like, you want to play mermaids? Like I just love it. So to me, those three, I'm writing it in my book.
yeah.
These three all may be Midgard, which
They could be.
kind
Because
of
we don't
makes sense.
know. The only areas we know of Midgard is Pangera and Velbara in a
Right, that's
balance.
it. That's it. Like
Like,
I have my book we could get out, but we don't have a good like
no.
we don't
The
have a
best
good
map I
reference.
found was a TikTok creator drew one, and there's like no
Oh,
pictures of it.
and it was so good.
I was
It's so
like,
good.
that's exactly how I picture it laid out. Like, it's
Yes.
so good.
It is kind of laid out like Aurelia, like in different areas,
It's
like a
almost like you
continent.
took parts of like Italy and flipped it this way is what it
Yes.
looks like, and then this is
Yes.
would be like Africa essentially if you're
Yes.
taking
Yeah,
that
pretty much.
snapshot of that area.
Pretty
So
much.
and when it kind of tracks because like Prithian kind of looks like Great Britain and all of that,
Absolutely.
you know. And so I'm just like, what are we doing
What
here?
are we doing here? Which are why are we talking about, like why are we but you don't know. We don't know.
Yeah,
So after she falls and sees the world of ocean, she makes a comment which makes me think that this is what makes me think that um the Throne of Glass series and the Eye of Her series are happening at the same time. Then close to home, she makes a point to say she feels close to home and she can smell the pine and snow. And then she falls through the quote unquote snow capped mountains with the winged male and the heavily pregnant
yeah.
female gazing at stars, which we know is something that happens in A Court of Silver Flames
Mhm.
with Nesta, because Nesta sees the red. It's acknowledged that the red, which also in side note in um, Game of Thrones, the red star means something's changing. So they acknowledge
Winter has come.
winter has come, the dragons are back.
Spring
Um,
child.
right. So you sweet summer child. So we know that that has to be at the same, which we don't know if it's at the same time because we don't know if Pharaoh was able to have another child. We
But
don't
it
know if
also
it's Nyx.
feel like I have to go back and I should have went back and looked and because I want to say there's a section where like Reese notices like he's looking at a star, but now I don't remember and
Yes.
I feel like I'm but I
I
like so
feel like
it
their first starfall, he was looking at a star, like he was looking at the skies.
yeah,
So
but
is
she wasn't
Starfall
pregnant there, but I'm like are all the other stars in Starfall people?
right? Is Starfall just a day that the worlds are open and you can world walk?
Kind of like where, people believe on Halloween, is like where you're closest to the dead
Yep.
and like the
Yep.
spirits. I'm like, ooh.
And I know. I know. It could be. I love it. I love it.
Because it could be because he's like there's less and less every year and they just see their
Right.
stars. And then it's also I'm like, okay, if they're people who got smattered across their face,
Right.
you know, in their first one, it's like boom. So like
Whoops. Like I wonder, like, because he says less and less, like there's less and less each year.
yeah,
Is that because the Asteri have taken over and they're limiting powers of people who can world walk, and
they
they've
could
they've
be.
taken over all the worlds that are, it's
Or does
that's a hot
it
theory.
that is a cool theory. I'm like, or I wonder if it's like a crossing, like, how
Right.
like In Crescent City, we don't just drop once. Like we also our soul
No.
gets ate.
Yeah. Oops.
Like
Oopsie.
just kidding. Like,
Kidding.
but I just
Your
wonder,
energy.
like,
You power Lunathian. That was really dark, by the way. Like that was a super dark um thing and I was like, dang girl, like you going through
God.
something right
But like the
now?
people that knew it worked like
Right.
that, were like, yeah, okay. I'm like, what?
Yeah, okay. What?
Um, but it's true.
Can
But
you
like,
give any more?
so what we can tell would think that Throne of Glass and ACOTAR happened very close to each other. Like those
Right.
timelines track really closely. And so some other theories I've seen out there that I like, I'm just like, if they're happening right together,
Right.
and I'm also like, I wonder if any of those Fae are from actually the same world. Like, is
Right.
one of the other worlds Aelin fell through where the whole Fae entirely originated from?
Right. Who
Because it's
knows?
it's interesting because like all the Fae in the Tog universe that we know of have some type of magic,
Yes. They're
and
either
they all can shift. They all have an
mhm.
animal form. Like
Right.
it says it. And so it's like there's no lesser Fae or high Fae in that world.
Right.
They're all just
Right.
Fae. Like
Right.
obviously there's some humans with magic because they, Fae and humans have intermingled and stuff like that. But like, and you got the demi Fae, but there's no
Mhm.
like other creatures that are also Fairies.
Right.
Like in Prithian and all that, you got like the water wraiths. You got all these other,
Like
you know,
levels of magic.
yeah, and like, but not everyone has powers. Like
Mm-mm.
High Fae have powers, but only the High Lords plus
Right.
Feyre can shift.
Right.
And they shift into something like monstrous or whatever, like
Yeah.
crazy huge. And I'm like, that it's just weird. It's very
It is.
interesting,
It is.
to me. And I'm like, there's a lot of species. So I'm like, are they all from originally the same place? Or have they all just kind of like been hanging out?
Or like, oh, I don't even have words because there's so much to like kind of go through because the magic system gets so deep
It does,
and
but it's
it's
also so
so
really easy to
different.
understand.
Yes. Yes.
But I also love how like we know how the Fae and the Shifters and everyone got to Lunathian and Midgard. They
Right.
walked through a rift.
Right.
Stupidly.
Yeah.
But they
Yes,
still
they were
did
just
it.
like, "Hey, we
Uh,
need to use this world." Oops, I'm being eaten.
yeah. But I'm also like, so I think the Asteri and the Vogue and the Daglin are all from the same world.
Agree.
They might be
Absolutely.
a different subspecies of them.
Right. Yep. Stygian spiders. We all know are
You got
Vaughn
the Stygian spiders, you
queens.
got the queens, the princes, the
Oh, the
princesses.
princesses, I guess, are the Stygian spiders. Ooh.
Yeah, but I'm
Ugh.
just saying, like, they can take other forms. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I wonder if there's also other species there. Because, like, the healers were like the unalivers in their world.
Right.
Like,
Right.
which is a crazy concept.
Kind of. Kind of.
Um,
But here we are.
but if you can, in theory, fix it, you can also unmake it. So,
You very
like, here
good.
you go.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely, you can.
but like, so I'm like, okay, we don't know very much about the Vogue world. We also like
Right.
one thing I like about in Throne of Glass, it's like a third person perspective, so you kind of get,
Yes.
but you don't get the full picture from anybody. There's
No,
no
you
POVs
don't.
of like Aelin or Rowan or Fenrir.
No.
Look at none of them. Like, I don't want
And
Adian's POV. He's dumb, but like.
I
Just he
I
reminds
kind
me of a frat boy. Like he'd get along with Rune and his
oh,
homies
for
just fine.
sure. For sure.
But I'm like, please shut up.
I
That's
just
just
want
my
to be
opinion.
like, I love Adian. I love Adian, but at the same time, when he threw Lysandra out of his
Oh my
tent butt ass naked, I was like, you are like Papa. You are not good. Like, that was mean.
yeah. I'm just like, that leads to one of my hot takes if you want me to share it from.
Yes, I love a hot take.
So my biggest hot take from Throne of Glass is it would have made more sense if Lysandra had been unalived at the end. Because like Gabrielle's was gut wrenching. Like that was hard when he was like
That was
close the gate and Adian realized he actually wanted time with his dad, but like it would have
what?
been better if like off Lysandra. I'm sorry. Like I love her. She's an excellent character and her development is great and what she did for Evangeline and like she was ride or die for Aelin. Like they were enemies when they were teenagers, but like
Right.
she's like, no, I'm here. Like I'm all in because he killed my friends too.
Yeah.
And I love that. It just would have made an already gut wrenching, because chapter 89 still lives rent free in my brain.
Ouch. It
Still,
hurts.
it hurt, but like it just would have added more
It
to the
could,
story.
yeah.
In my
It,
opinion, it's my hot take. Like,
it is a, yes, that is a hot take for sure.
oh,
At the, like, Lysandra is just like one of those where you're like, okay, so you're a courtesan,
yeah,
but Aylin's just like, hey, so I need you to cosplay me, and you're gonna have to be an
yeah.
assassin. And she's just like, cool, I can do it. And I'm just like, oh,
That's the thing. And like, their conversation wasn't very long when she had
right.
that conversation with Lysandra. She
No.
realized Nameless is my price, was throwing up and went and found Lysandra, and that's where they cooked that plan up.
Yeah.
Like it was quick. Like so
Oh
Lysandra
no.
was like very little consideration, was like, sure, okay.
I have a
And I'm
cat
like,
attacking my chair. We'll have to edit this
great.
out.
No, you're all good.
Where are you?
I'll cut this out. It's all good.
Okay,
I
sorry.
might leave it in, but it's
He
fine.
was like, if we do keep this in, this is my husband's room. This is his chair. This is his. That's Cookie. This is Pokemon room. That was one of the first gifts I got him. It's a SpongeBob
Nice.
portal.
I love
So
that.
this is his room. So I'm like, please don't break the chair. It's not my chair. Well, I mean, technically it is because we're married, but at the same time, I'm like, don't,
Yeah,
don't
don't
destroy
mess up his
furniture because you
chair.
want
Let's
attention.
not. Yeah.
Ugh. Anyways, I don't even know where we were. Should we just sidebar
I
back to the
just
next theory?
sidebar to the next theory where after my hot take that Lysandra is like should have been offed.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah, I
love
can.
her, and I
I
love how she got to meet a family member and learn her last
yes,
name and like all that. It's also still
right.
really sad. She has no idea what she should actually look like.
No, and that has always bothered me.
I was
I'm
like,
just like, what do you mean you don't know what your face
oh
looks like? Like,
no. But
and
she
then it
doesn't
just she
remember.
doesn't. She
She was
really
a
doesn't.
child. I was like, oh, that's so, oh my gosh.
She was a
Like,
child, and then she took the form of a woman to
hmm.
better herself.
But also, as we're talking about worlds and stuff, like, there's a lot of places in the Throne of Glass world that we were not introduced to, but like the
Right,
cadre's been to. Because they
right,
basically, Maeve was like, go take out all these kingdoms. Like, we get a few
yes,
mentions and names, but like where they're
right,
located in comparison to
right.
Aurelia, I have no idea.
We have no idea. Did the
Like,
world walk?
well, the thing, like, it's like, was she sending them through? Because she could have. Because I fully believe Lurkin's been to Valoris.
Oh, I do too.
Because, like, that one in Empire Storms when they're, like, on the barge, and he's like, oh, I remember a place that, like, they got around like this. It was beautiful, and there were mountains. And that's all he
And like,
remembers. And I'm
and you're
like,
just like, oh, you got brain melded. He
yeah,
totally went to Valaris.
I
He
think he
had to have.
did.
He had to have. He had to have. And like, oh, it's just you could. There's so much. There's so much to the worlds. There's so much to the places. There's so many places we don't see on the maps. Like we don't have a full map of Windland. We
And I
don't know
think
what
there's a
Windland looks like.
reason. Like, I think
Right.
there's a reason so she can keep the world however she wants to.
Right. And if she wants to expand, she can. If she doesn't have to. Or
Right.
she could just leave it open for people like us to make podcasts and dream about
And
all of it
that's
all the
totally
time.
fine. And like I love how she wrapped Throne of Glass up and like it's
Yes.
done,
In a
but
nice
almost
little bow.
yeah, like if she was to decide to put out a couple novellas of like what's going on with certain
She better leave
characters.
Aelin alone.
I
She
know,
better
I'm
leave Aelin
like,
alone. She's
but I'm
had
also
enough.
like, she could because she said she'd conquer some places if it made sense. So I'm like, would we get to go see the other worlds? Could we
Thing
have
was
like
about
Manon, the High Queen of all the witches, like go on a adventure with Aelin again? Because I love their relationship. Like
you two
a lot
queens
of
from
people like to
nothing.
hate on the witch chapters in Air of Fire, and I'm like, they're so
They're
good.
so good. Now, given it was a lot when
It was
you're
a lot.
world
It
building,
it was like boom, 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 a lot to keep up with, but like
right?
that's where you really understand the transition Manon takes and why chapter 89 is so much worse. She went into that war with everything and lost it
I
all.
lost it
And
all.
Aelin went in with like
She didn't get to
not as
say,
much and gained it. Like just
yeah.
oh like It's so hard.
Oh, and speaking of all the witches, one of the most like beautifully written chapters I think is when they're talking about like the Krakens hear the call and the witches hear the call, and husbands are like,
Where the
where,
crap's
like,
my
they have
wife
no
going?
idea,
Like my
like,
wife has a
they're just,
sword. Like
my
what?
wife has a sword and and we're like, what? I
I
think
just
that
remember like
is
listening to those chapters for the first time. It's like women were hugging their babes, telling their husband, grabbing their cloaks and swords, and it's like, oh shit! Like I just pictured
everywhere,
randomly women, like 20 to 50 women from these villages, peacing out. Like I'm going to war. My queen's called me
right?
to war. Bye. Like with
Like,
zero explanation.
no, and they're just like,
It's crazy, but it's so well written.
my cats are menaces,
You're
guys.
all
I'm so
good.
sorry.
So while you're dealing with the cats, I'll keep talking. So you
Yes,
can.
please do.
My other
Please
favorite
ignore
thing
me.
is like when they finally get to Orinth, and like they're like, we're getting down to our last days. Adian's trying to get Lysandra to run, like everyone. Darrow's like, oh gosh, how are we gonna get all our old people and children to safety? Like we got nowhere to go. And then
Right,
they're like, oh crap, they're coming for us. And like,
right.
Manon, Elaine's like, I love her swagger, like attitude. Like she's
Oh,
bringing it
she
100
is the
all the
baddest bitch that
time.
has ever lived, man. All the time.
Right?
Her
She's
her
just
attitude
like,
is just the best all the time.
yeah, like she eats men for fun. Like she's like,
Absolutely. She's
you
like,
know.
silence,
Bro,
human. Like, I'll believe
like
whatever.
her intro in that book was like, wrong witch. I was like, yes, she's gonna be one of my favorite
Yes, yes,
characters.
yes. She's
But
a
she
bad bitch.
lands, and Daryl's like, why is he sending you? She's like, I'm not one of his people. Like
No,
I'm here for what Ayla and Gallahoo's promised me. She's like,
yeah,
what was that? She's like, a better world. Did like all the Krakens show up? Almost like
yes,
he gave me Helm's Deep vibes in Lord of the Rings. Like when Gandalf
yes,
returns with the Rohirrim, and it's like, oh
yes.
yes.
It's so
But
good. It's
it's
so
so
good.
good.
Like Manon, oh, she's one of the best characters ever written. Like
She's
she really
well
is.
written too,
Yes.
and like just that.
And she has a lot
It's
of depth.
Yeah. I do hope, like, I like to think her and Dorian are like happy and
Oh,
chilling.
in my
Like,
head, of course they are. Like I'm just like in my head, Dorian, I don't think Chaol can because he doesn't have magic. And I don't think a lead can. But there's got to be more than one way to make the quote unquote drop
well,
because like it's just like I just don't see her writing the depth of this character just to be like, oh, and they live a human lifespan, even though he
but
has
we
his
don't
invisible hands and all
know
this
because
magic.
it doesn't mention the
Right,
lifespan of Demi Faye and like
right,
humans with magic. Because
right,
like they think Adian will be longer life because they thought he'd
right,
outlive Aelin, but he's
right,
not. Like, but it's like it doesn't mention it, but we know like the witches have long lives.
right. So it's possible
So
when we
like
know
the
Maeve has lived for centuries.
Well, she would live way too long even for a fae.
That's true.
Which I'm like, Brandon, that should have been your first clue something was up. Because she was old then. You know what I mean? Like she
Brannon,
was old then.
Brannon and Elena are the true bad guys. Okay, Elena, solve your own
I
freaking problems. She's like,
thank you.
double it and pass it to the next person. Like this is
Yeah.
not trauma. We saw Aelin Galathynius is like the
But it's like you
systemic
basically
trauma stuff
raised
that
her like a
he
lamb to slaughter, like Dumbledore did to Harry. I'm
he's the
just saying. It was
villain.
the same
He's the
thing.
villain.
But they
He
did
and Snape are the
we
bad
let you
guys.
live and like barely become an adult and then you gotta
Mm.
save the freaking world.
And he didn't even tell him.
But you know what I mean? Like
Man,
they did the same thing to Aelin, and we
they
didn't even give
did.
you all the information to know what the
Nope.
crap was up till it was
Nope.
too
They
late.
sure didn't. They sure
So
didn't. But they didn't have any problem telling Nehemia everything. Mm. I I love Nehemia. Very good. Like she very what a great character.
do you think when she's like doing those marks on Dorian's chest, she turned his magic on, like somehow unlocked it for him?
Oh,
Because his magic was working even with the word stones in the clock tower. But she knew word
oh.
marks. Like that's some Ilway knows word marks. Like I know there's a reason that we haven't fully
Mm-hmm.
found out, but like
Or do you think she was like writing like some sort of protection on him?
right, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if she could sense his magic building.
She did something on him.
She
Hello,
did something
macaroni.
on him, either to help protect him
Right.
or, but I'm
Or
also
to turn
like,
to
could we have just talked to them and told them what was up?
right, like communication. Anakin Skywalker,
I
all the
hate
Jedi can.
miscommunication.
We talked about that last time. And just all you have to do is just speak to people and let your feelings be
Because how
known.
traumatic is that? Like,
Right.
we're solid friends, but I'm gonna let myself get unalived so you can like go win a war. What?
I'd be so mad.
But I'm just saying, like, in what world is that? Like, couldn't we just talk about it? And I'm like, I'm gonna really need you to beef up and suck it
Get
up
it
so I can go to
together.
war with you.
Right. Like,
Like,
don't you want to go to war with your friend? But like at the same time, I feel like Aelin almost had to lose everything to realize that she was not Selena. She's Aelin, you
well,
know?
like, she was brainwashed by Arabin to be as
For
scared of being
sure.
part Fae and her magic
For
and Harrison
sure.
and all of it. So, like, everyone wants to talk crap on her, but I'm like,
Arab and Hummel,
girl
man.
was 18 years old when this story started.
Right. 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 Like,
Like,
and not 18, like legit like a child.
I'm like, was 8 years old when she found her parents dead.
Yeah. And while she
Ran
was in
from,
the bed with them, that and
but
they
like,
woke up cold and
ran
she
from an assassin, okay?
woke up cold and was like, man, I guess the roof leaked. Psych. No, it didn't.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
the
that whole like
whole scene.
flashback, I was like, holy crap.
No wonder she doesn't like to talk to people and just likes to eat chocolate and read books. I mean, so would
Well,
I.
yeah, facts. Like, I get really good with a sword too and only eat
Right.
chocolate.
If I woke up dead and my parents were dead,
Oh
Jesus.
my
All right,
God.
like, oh man, I'm cold. The roof must have leaked.
Well, that
Psych.
that whole thing, and I'm like, what? You left
Right.
it up to her, but like you also had Dorian who could have helped.
Right. It's like the Neville Harry situation,
Yeah.
which is
Also,
a
where's
whole.
Mort? Is Mort still in the bottom of all the like rubble of the castle?
I loved Mort so much.
Like
He
I
was the
picture a
comedic,
broken door and Mort's just like hanging out hoping
like,
someone will
well,
dig
I
him
guess no
out.
one is gonna come find me.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I picture.
Talks like Joe Pesci in my head. Like I know that Mort, but in my head he is Joe Pesci in Goodfellas. Like that is, or in Home Alone.
Yes, I would have to agree to that. Because I'm just like, it's just that there because he's still enchanted. Like that enchantment didn't break, right?
Nope. But I mean, when the glass, and he's not in the glass part of the glass
No,
castle.
but you can't get there because all the rubble and everything. So I'm
Mort's just
like,
like, well, I guess I'm gonna wait till the next person comes down here. That's a terrible Joe Pesci impression, guys. So I don't narrate
I
books.
love it. I love
I
it.
don't speak at public events.
Because my face would get really, really red.
Right. The most public speaking I do is like the prayer on Thanksgiving. So I'm like,
I'm like, I talk to enough people on a regular basis at my job. I'm not sitting up from a bunch of people talking. I'm
no, no,
good.
I'm
Like,
good. I'm good. So one thing I want to talk about since we've been talking about the witches, but we're gonna go back to Akatar is who is Mama Archeron?
I, do you have your thoughts ready for it?
I think the hoe is a witch. Because and I think her mama was also a witch, like Grandma Archeron, because she is described very much like a matron of the
Of the
witch
Iron Teeth.
clan.
Like,
Yes. Wait.
um,
Oh, I don't have to. The thing said you're about to raise your hand. Like, listen, I don't need a question to be answered. I'm just talking with
oh
my
yeah. Sometimes
hands.
you do like thumbs up and stuff, and it'll do like hearts and thumbs up and things. Like
Oh,
sometimes,
that's
so
nice.
I might
But
have
that
that
just,
feature turned off, but yeah. So
I,
I think
sorry.
Grandma Archeron is like an old or was an old Iron Teeth witch. And like
Mm-hmm.
somehow she escaped with her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Maybe she world walked.
she could have.
Yeah, she may have.
I also, one of my more theories with it is when the witches do the yielding that they can like peace out of that world and go to another one. Because you never see them. There's no
No,
bodies there.
nope. They just gone.
And so that like makes the argument like could she have chosen
Like,
to
is it a
escape for
form
some
of
reason?
winnowing for them?
Right.
Who
Because does
knows?
it open up the barrier between worlds when you're willing to
Right,
give it all,
right. And
you
like
know?
I also think that like Papa Archeron knew a lot about the fairylands too, because before he like
Yeah.
swindled all their money away like a little pirate, he traveled a lot. And he went to different worlds, and Feyre, talks about like how much she loved hearing his stories and how she didn't always know if they were true or
Well,
not.
how did he know to go to the continent
Right,
and end up with Coach J?
right.
How did he know to do that? If he hadn't
Because
come across that somehow.
he knew about magic. I
That's
I
the thing, like
it,
I think he knew somehow that
I feel like somehow he lost, like, I don't think he had magic. I think Mama
no.
Archeron had magic, and that's how Papa Archeron knows about magic. But I think that Mama Archeron, the reason she perished was because she somehow lost her magic.
I
Like,
wonder if like I don't know the timeline per se per years, like when
right.
the king put on magic in
Uh-huh.
Aurelia, if it jacked
Right.
up her magic because she was from there.
Right.
And so
You
it
had to have.
manifested in her like like Manon talks about like, we couldn't fly anymore. Like
Right.
people crashed on their brooms. How much would that have sucked?
You're right. You just walk around and boom, a witch falls on you. And you're like, I'm so sorry, madam. And then you're like, oh. Oh. And
Like,
then you got to be the one to be like, listen, 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 my witch. I did not, unalive this one. They like, they just fell from the sky.
right, like would you get the tattoo, the marks and the scent if like they fell through your roof and
Right. And you'd be like, witch killer. And I'm like, um, she
I don't
fell
have
on
like I
my
don't
name's
have
just
insurance for that.
right. My name's Dorothy Gale, and I accidentally dropped a house on a witch, and I'm not a witch killer per se.
But seriously though, like what if you're flying and all of a sudden your broom falls out of the sky?
How traumatizing would that be? You'd be like, "Damn broom! I just fixed this thing." So is it the broom, or and you're just like, "Fix broom," and you're like, "Oh shit!"
But seriously, I'm just like, because it would have just been like all of a sudden it was gone.
Magic's gone.
Because like it talks about Fae got stuck in their animal forms.
Right.
So I'm like, unless they traveled and made it like out of Aurelia, they were stuck there.
They were very much stuck in there, like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
it is. It is, and
But I
it's
do
like
agree, and it kind of tracks a little bit because like Nesta is very much like an Iron
Rita's
Teeth
called
witch,
her a
kind of.
freaking witch.
And with that too, but also like I have a question with that, but it's also like Elaine's a seer. Is that from the
Right.
Cauldron or from the Blue Bloods?
Because like
Because they're
the
seers,
yeah, like the Cochran witches are very kind of like dreamy and not aggressive, and
but
like
the
the three-eyed witch, like that
yeah,
puts Feyre as like a yellow legs, um
because
Elaine
it
as
it
the
tracks.
Kraken, or Nesta as the Iron Teeth. Like it would be.
But even like the Blue Blood Iron Teeth are
Mhm.
seers and all this,
Right.
and it talks about like they're tethered by the iron in their bodies.
Right.
And they wear the iron like crowns and stuff to
Right.
tether them to that world. So it's like,
Right. And then like you think about like in Prithian that they say iron protects against Fae and all this other
yeah.
stuff. So there's so
Well,
much lore.
and you see too, like even in Throne of Glass, that iron messes with
Hmm.
their magic because that's how
Right.
they stifled Dorians,
Right.
and everything. But it's like, can the witches actually world walk if they did? Could like the Cochrans, but the Iron Teeth can't because they have iron in their
Mm.
body unless they yield.
And if you yield, are you still Iron Teeth? Who knows? We need a
Just
witch
the
book.
question. Oh, that would be
Sarah Janet
cool.
Mass. We
With
need a
all the
witch book.
lore of that, because also, how did the witches, one, why are the Illyrians terrified of them?
Right.
Because it doesn't talk about witches in
Right.
Prythian. It
It does.
talks about all these other fae. other
But the only
ones.
time you get the witches
When he
mentioned
calls
is
Nesta one
when,
and she's like, yeah, buddy, I am.
yeah, I am.
You know.
Point.
But it's like, okay, why are they scared of them? And then how did the witches that ended up in Crescent City are healers?
Right. How?
How does
Like
that happen? Because they
hypaxia
came
and
from
all.
like Prithian, Throne, Aurelia,
Hmm.
and all of that,
Yeah,
worlds. Like, so how did they become that?
we don't
Lot-
know.
Lots of
It's
questions.
I
A
have
witch book would be really cool.
a witch book would be really great. It would help answer all of the things, and I'm sure that like other people have great witch theories too,
Oh,
but
yes.
we
Um,
don't know enough about them.
yeah. Anyone though, when they listen to this, comment your fun theories when you like check us
Please
out on
do.
Instagram and
We would
TikTok because I
love.
want to
We
hear
want
them.
we want to hear your theories. We want to know like what theories, like if we talk about something and you have more information, we would love that. Please tell me more information. I
Absolutely.
love to talk. I love to know things. Well, one of the last like really theories that I have like set out, I could sit here and like thumb through books and come
Oh,
through everything,
yeah.
is quote unquote winged beings in the Sarah J. Maas universe. Okay. So so I can't even talk about it with a straight face because it's so
All I'm picturing is the
ridiculous,
bat from
y'all.
Fern Gully.
And yeah, okay, so Illyrians are have bat wings, like bat style wings. And in my head, I just like snuffed that out and pictured them like we talked about this before, that they're more like dragon like and
Yeah.
not bat like, because anytime you say bat wings, all I can think of is Batty from Fern Gully. He's like, my name is Batty. And I'm just like, can we describe them? Like, he's a little fruit bat and he's precious and he has a great monologue song and he's so cute. Like, insert picture of Batty here. But like it's just resand with like bat wings, like Batty, like meh. Like his monster form is just Batty from Fern Gully.
It's actually like some big talon creature. It's like Batty.
Batty, and he has a little claw at the end of his wings. Um,
It's great.
Candace Batty. But Illyrians are described as like the quote unquote warriors of Prithian. The next one are Seraphim, and they are people of Prince Draken, and they resemble angels, which we'll talk about that more in when we talk about it. And then there are peregrines of the Dawn Court, and they have bird-like wings with colorful feathers. And then we know that Therian owns a Pegasus, which is a bird horse. And then some of the lesser fairies in Prithian have wings. Um, and also the adder has wings. He
Oh, I
flies
forgot about
around.
that.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
he
he does
flies
have wings.
around and calls out. So with all of those in Throne of Glass, there are the Ilkin. Those are really the only winged beasts, and
Yeah.
they to me sound very much like the adder. They sound very demon like,
Well,
very
they reference a lot quick as an adder or like an
yes,
adder. And
yes,
like
like
I
an
picked that up
adder.
when I first listened to it. I was like,
Yeah.
are we gonna get an adder in this one?
Right.
Because
Is
I'd
an
already,
adder an Ilkin?
but you don't know what all they were doing to make
Right.
that creature.
Right. And you don't know like what all it's kind of come through and what,
Yeah.
that's one of like I just think that's interesting. And that's really the only winged creature mentioned in, I mean, of course, Rowan is a buzzard, but like he
But like,
has
unless they can shift into some type of bird,
right. And
because you
but
got like Osprey and the hawk,
yeah, he's a
and
buzzard.
like a lots of birds of prey Faye can shift into. Like that's
Right.
mentioned when they're in Winland, like when they're trying to get into the camp with Aelin. Like,
Right.
because Rowan's
Right.
like, yeah, you're going down regardless if you're a bird or not.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
we're,
But
um,
whereas like Prithian, like their birds are, or like their winged creature, like they're winged people. They're not necessarily like a
right.
shifted, like they have wings. And then in Crescent City, the only really thing that has wings that we know about are the Malachim and the
Mhm.
angels. So, like, we know that they're Vanir. We know that they're of House of Sky and Breath. We know that they're feathered, which makes me think that there's some sort of seraphim, because, seraphim, angels, they're all kind of biblically talks, but they're also described as very Valkyrie like a warrior, like a Valkyrie warrior, because, it's it's just one of those. It's interesting because Midgard could be like Midgard and like Norse mythology. It could go into like Thor and Loki and the Valkyrie, and I don't know if she intentionally did that or if she unintentionally did that. Um, but we know that there are different colors of wings. We know that there are black, gray, and white,
Mhm.
and we know that white wings are only the Asterian Guard. So that was something I found
Right.
out tonight, which kind of makes sense. Angels, white wings,
They're very about like pure
Yeah.
type, like
Even though
looking
Micah
stuff.
is a hoe, and I'm so glad he got vacuumed up. Um, speaking of
It's,
which, that was amazing. She just
I
hoovered him right up.
that whole scene when it's like she's running and opens the door and takes off to the office is like, oh shit, she's going
Oh
for the
god.
rifle. I was
The
like,
the
oh,
Godslayer rifle, the
it's like
Godslayer rifle.
yes, because like she made note
Yes.
of it for a reason earlier in
Yes.
that book, and I'm
Yep.
like, just like listening to that for the first time because you're like. Because he was going to kill her. Like, she was,
Absolutely. She
and
was
it's like,
Dunzo, man.
and she's like, in the few seconds Lahaba bought her, I was like,
The hubba.
oh, oh, I know. Oh, it's so
My
sad.
homegirl. She's my reality TV hoe. She's like, I'll burn you, book.
But it was so great. Just the lead
Exactly.
up to that shot and everything, because when Hunt's like, yeah, Rando Salago's daughter, like, there's a
Yeah,
reason he trained her. And then just vacuums it
absolutely.
up. And like, oh, it's a gas leak. Like, I love that. Like,
And they're
help
all
primary
just watching.
cubes.
They're all just watching like they're at the fucking NATO summit or something, like watching the screen of like they're like, is she gonna live? Is she really gonna kill Micah?
Well,
Is she
but then it's
like
like, because they're always big on like the power just like
yes.
stops. Like the world
Yeah.
stops when that
Yep.
happens. So like she offs him and then Hunt offs the other chick. Like just whoop.
Huh. Yoink.
But it talks about and all the angels there just like bowed to him, like
Yeah.
got on a knee, and I was like,
Right.
you know,
Also, side note, how traumatic was it when Hunt got re-tattooed?
it was I thought it was cool because on the slide Hypaxia is like, if I take that off, what are you gonna do? I was like, whole
Oh,
Hypaxia is our girl.
I like
Like she
Hypaxia.
like, but reading that and then like, oh, when he got it back on his brow, like, that's so
Oh, that
sad.
hurt. That hurt. That one hurt. There was like Chris, the House of Flame and Shadow. Like, hot take. I really enjoyed House of Flame and Shadow. I think it feels like it was pushed out really fast. There are some plot holes that I could have seen, I would have liked to seen filled a little bit more. Like, I think the whole like finding the alpha wolf in the tank, that was a huge waste of time. That was just like, again, Ethan's chapters. Ethan and like, what was her name? I don't even remember her name because I hated her that much.
She was a fender. That's all I can think
Yes,
of.
yes.
Um,
Um, I'll think of it in a minute.
but
But
like,
like,
I agree on that because like I enjoyed the book,
yeah,
but I was kind of let down because there was a lot of possibilities of
right,
like, because she opened that door wide on where that could have
right.
gone. Because
And
I'm
like,
like, what
the
was the
Viper Queen
point?
is so deep. Like, she's a deep, deep ass character.
But
Like,
like, why give us a dragon? And you
what? Give
just
us a
like,
dragon.
why give us a dragon that does nothing?
Right.
Like
She's gonna,
Ariadne just like went and became besties with the Viper Queen.
right. And now
Okay.
they run like the slums. So, but the
But that's
Viper
what I'm saying,
Queen,
like, she's like, there's something to the Viper Queen.
I don't think she's a bad guy. I think she's just morally
No,
gray.
absolutely. Just like, there's something with the fact that the Ocean Queen, because it's noted she was there before
Mm-hmm.
the Asteri.
Yeah, it
So
is.
I really want a book on the water
I want a book about the water. You
because it keeps
know,
mentioning that like the River Queen and her sisters are older than the Asteri.
right. And I'm just like, why would you have four houses and only write three books? And I know I am very well aware that if the fourth book of Crescent City is probably going to be a Tower of Dawn moment. I'm okay with that. I
Yeah.
I'm okay
Like
with that.
I enjoyed it, but I just there were so many things that like why flesh them out if we weren't going to wrap
Right.
it up? Like
Right. I don't think this is
and
anywhere
at the
close to
time it
wrapped up.
was no, and at the time it was written, it was only supposed to be a trilogy.
Right.
Like she just recently announced like, "Oh, I'm going to add
Mhm.
a fourth book." And I'm like,
Mhm. I think all of this is going to come together in some sort of like end game style book,
yeah.
where it takes more than one person to unite the universe and get rid of the Asteri slash Vogue slash Daglin. I
That's my
think.
thing, but I'm like, okay, if we've kind of technically kicked them out of where the Throne of Glass world
Yep.
that we know of, they're
Yeah.
gone. That we know of. Prithians kicked them out millennia ago.
Yep.
The Dagna, and like they
Yeah.
offed the Asteri that was sleeping under the prison.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It
so
did.
for sure got about.
Yep.
And in theory, like technically they're gone from Crescent City, so I'm like, who's the big bad in the next book?
Right.
Is it Koschei? Is he a Vogue? Or a
Is
form
he
of,
just a like
or is he just a
because
death god?
yeah, and then like I've got all my pages about like Vasa and what was the point of talking about Vasa if we were
And
just
like,
going to
why is
mention
he just
her?
letting her chill?
Yeah.
He's not called her back.
No, he's not. And is it kind of like a Hades Persephone kind of thing, which I could get on board with. Um that trope I do like. Um but is it kind of like a push pull dynamic? Is it like
Yeah.
what is it? So
But what
ACOTAR
did
5
Ar
and 6 needs its
right?
own episode, like
What did
5
Papa
slash 6.
Archeron offer Koschei to get him to take
Right.
Vasa?
Exactly.
Because she didn't technically have to come back unless he
No.
physically can pull her back.
Right.
Because he can't leave his lake.
No, he
So
can't.
unless there's another tie, because like she's not gonna care if he threatens to off her sister queens. They send
Yeah,
it there.
she does
Like,
not care.
bye.
The human queens are
Are
such hoes.
evil. Oh
They're
my gosh, they're
such
so
hoes.
bad.
They are
God.
like, I mean,
I mean, there were two
oh,
good ones, Vasa and the one that they like impaled on a post.
yeah, they did.
Like,
They straight up just put her on a post like she was outside of the wall in the Red Keep. Like they straight up thrown of glassed her. Um, I just, oh, this. There's so much to these books, and
there's
there's.
a lot, and like it's fun, and like some of
Mhm.
them like I read them so long ago, and then I'll like comfort read part of Throne of Glass.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you speed through the chapters you don't like. You're just like, "Oh, yes." Like
Um,
hot take, this is a hot take. Um I didn't need so many chapters of Aelin being tortured. Like that almost made me DNF the book. I put it down for a really long time because I was like, um this almost borders into a trope of like non-con that I'm not okay with.
it like I can agree with that. I'm like
Yeah.
it could have been a chapter or two less.
Yeah,
Like,
or not
you
like
know,
I get it. I know that we have to like understand that Aelin like suffered for her kingdom and she was willing, but we knew that.
she's been suffering since she was 8.
Yeah, and
Like
out
I
of the
didn't
pool
need
of
it
blood.
proven to I didn't need it proven to me.
Yeah.
Hey. But like I guess she just was trying to show like how much time had passed, like whatever, like okay, cool. Like, but and also I didn't have to you to note every time Lorcan cut his shirt up for someone's period.
Listen, I love that. Like, I'm like, yes, Lorcan Locken, you simp over your girl. You
It
cut up
was
that shirt
it
every
was
time of the month.
funny, but the amount of times it
He's
was
like,
mentioned.
motherfuck, I gotta do another shirt.
Or like when
Yeah,
they're like when
because
him
you
and
know
Elite
he
are
was
like
not happy about it.
especially like when they're on the
Grumpy.
barge and he's like, "You're bleeding. Are you okay?" She's like, "It's fine." I'm like,
And
"How
he's
embarrassing
like,
is that? Like, I smell it on you.
right,
What is
like
that?"
that's like your middle school worst nightmare. Like there's something on the back of your pants. Like, oh, that is just so traumatic.
Yeah,
That
so he's
was
like broody and pissed, and he's like, here's my shirt."
shirt.
Like
God, just deal with it. It's just like I love a little like simp Lorcan. Mm,
I love the banter that's in all those books with the
yes,
characters and like just like the side phrases cracked me
yes.
up. Like when I was rereading through some of the things, like just looking for stuff that I was like, oh yeah. Um, when they when Lorcan and Elide reunite with the
Uh-huh.
cadre and Aelin, like after
Hmm.
Gabriel heals Elide and everything, and like made it well known we're gonna off you and Fenris if y'all attack Lorcan, you know.
Yeah.
It's like Lorcan makes a comment that like she keeps Rowan on a tight leash, and Rowan's like, I'm not gonna mention the tiny human that like has you on one too. Like, and how about this? Like, is Rowan just like so like legit powerful Fae and in tune with his senses, or is he a bloodhound like Danica was? Because he just like draw not like name drops knowledge all the time. Like Lysandra, he's like, "Oh, you
Mm.
copied my things, so you can copy them later." Like what? Like you know what I mean? Like he
Right.
just
And I'm
says
like,
stuff like that. Like
it gets really deep. Like he's just like, oh, by the way, shifter. It's like, you know, have y'all seen like Zootopia when it's like, watch where you're going, Fox? And she's like, what are you doing, shifter? And I'm just like, how did you know?
but that's what they like. If that's the case, we need him to like travel to Midgard to check some things out. Cause like,
Like his some weird things have happened in Midgard, guys.
yeah,
And like,
because you know,
oh,
like especially with the
speaking of,
mating thing. Go
oh
ahead.
yeah, that
Go
speaking of
ahead.
Midgard, I just realized that like the thing that the king had in Pharaoh, the
The little like planets.
planetarium thing, didn't Reese have one of those?
Yes. I
That can't
wonder
be a
if it's this.
coincidence.
No, it's there for a reason. I'm like, is it the same planet system? Like, is Midgard and whatever planet we don't know of that Aurelia's on are just like rotating the same atmosphere, like the
Well,
same
it
area?
kind of makes me wonder if Reese knows about the Asteri and knows that they are still out there and that they've
Well,
taken over another world. Like,
it seems like it because when he's hot pissed about Bryce
yeah,
being there, he's like, we already fought off the Daglin
yeah,
millennia ago. They're not
don't
coming
bring it
back in
back.
here. And that's why everyone was so mad at Nesta.
Yeah,
And like, I understand. I'd have been pissed at her too.
same.
Like, everyone's getting mad. Like, how did it? I'm like, well, no, 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 no. Like,
No,
if
no,
you
you
had,
just brought the evil into the world,
like, legitimately,
you little teenager.
if you've been fighting evil for hundreds of years, okay, like
Like,
you fought
hey, come on
Hybern,
back.
yeah, like you fought Hibernoff twice. You've been
You
slaying
need one of our
crazy,
swords? Here you go.
but I'm just saying, like, you've been slaying crazy monsters forever.
Right.
Like, Cassian pretty much filled the prison with all those,
Yeah.
like, high crazy inmates, right? Like,
Yes.
you know, and Nessa's like, yeah, here's a mask. Here you go.
I would have
Because,
been
and
so
they,
mad.
because, like, Bryce can just open that door whenever she wants to.
Yes, you can.
So, like, I'm not saying it's bad, and, like, I think it's cool that Nessa was like, yeah, here's your chance to save your world.
Right.
But I don't see why everyone's mad when she's like, yeah, my mate's mad at me too. It doesn't mean he didn't defend her and doesn't still care for her. It just means he was pissed. He's the general of the armies. Of course
Yeah,
he's
and you
pissed.
just opened the door to the enemy.
Right, like, and Reese is the like head honcho of that court. So of course he's pissed. But
Damn, say
he
anything?
also, right, like he also got put in his place by Feyre
Yeah.
and then by Bryce's mom, which I love that bonus chapter.
That was a nice bonus chapter.
That was
That was a
so
nice.
fun. As annoying as I was, because I think it is terrible for you to release multiple copies of books in multiple stores
Oh, oh, at
with
least put them
different
all
bonus
online.
content. At least release them all because that's not fair. I'm not buying multiple copies of the same book.
And like Sarah J. Maas, like I love your writing style. That was a hoe move because
No.
in this economy, you
What am
want
I
me to
gonna do with
buy
that?
what like 6 or 7 chapters?
It's
Like
the same. It's the
no,
same with Fourth Wing.
I know,
Just give
I
me
know.
a Zayden POV chapters, but quit releasing Fourth Wing again.
Right? Don't like. I know you're out to make money, but
Right, but
literally,
like,
we're
I'm
gonna
not gonna own
stand
multiple
wherever we
copies
are
of
and
the
look
same
for it.
book.
No, not unless I'm collecting a specific edition. I'm not gonna do that.
No,
And
like I
even
have time
then,
for that.
it's got to be a really good
Can you
shelf
just like
trophy.
if I already own it, can you just upload it to my Kindle edition of it? Would be
Right.
great.
Right. Or like give us a Kindle version that's
That has it
99
all.
cents.
Right, kind of like where Quicksilver is releasing the Kingfisher POV chapters on audio
Oh,
separately. Like, you can
we
read them on her website. Like, if
yes,
you subscribe to her stuff, you can read them. But like, that would be fine with me.
that would be fine.
Just like
Release it for
skim it.
I'll pay 99 cents to get 6 or 7
Absolutely,
extra chapters, but for them
absolutely.
to only be in print version and to only be at certain bookstores,
It's just
that
not
was that was
fair.
that was a shitty move. That's not fair
Yeah.
to
But that's
like
probably
your
my favorite
audience.
bonus chapters
Yeah,
was that one. And it was
yeah,
funny because it's like you got like three super powerful Fae plus Randall just like laughing about their women troubles.
right, right. Well,
That
here's
is close to like real world issues as I've ever
pretty
seen.
much arguing and then the men laugh. That's just kind of that's
Yeah.
life now. Ah,
But it's cool though, because like I did enjoy it. I enjoyed parts of Flame and Shadow, like where it was Anessa and Asriel and Bryce.
oh yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're kind of like the three people a lot of people don't like.
yeah. There's so much hate out there for Bryce Quinlan, and I kind of get it. I
I
kind of
get it,
understand
but I
because
kind
she is
of
a
don't.
full not 360 because 360 is a circle, a full 180 from where she was in Sky and Breath, especially like the way she talks to Hunt. Um, but that's a whole nother thing that I don't think Hunt is her actual mate. That's another
Well,
hot
like
take that
I'm not sure where I fall on that because it says like it's mentioned a couple of times in the Crescent City books, like angels don't mate, but by
no.
accident, but Baxian and Danica were
Baxi and
mates.
Danica were mates.
So
Um,
I'm like, but Hunt is not an ordinary angel.
he's not. He
He's a
was
hybrid.
created.
He was
He was
created.
created.
So does that change things?
It could. There's got to be a reason that he uses
But
Hunt
also, right.
and not Orion, because
Hmm.
we know that Orion, in like the traditional way, is killed by his mate.
Hmm.
So,
But also, Baxian can shift.
yeah,
Like
again,
he's not an ordinary angel either.
no,
So
he's
is
not.
that why he could be a mate of Danica's?
Maybe,
This was it. That's what was weird to
yeah,
me because it was like the angels don't have mates. Like that's a Fey wolf shifter kind of
yeah.
thing.
Like
We know the
angels don't
shifters
mate.
were originally Fey. They've just kind
Yeah,
of, you know, dwindled over the years or
yeah.
whatever. But so
They
I'm
bred
like,
out the face so they feel more human like and not.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, is that because Fae typically always have mates in the world
Right.
she's built,
Yeah.
and
Like
a lot
the
of other writers' books, that's a thing that's like
yeah, the
strictly
most rare bond in the world is to have a fated mate. And
it's in every it's in
you
every
telling me I got
romantasy
like
book.
15 books about fated mates? Stop saying it's uncommon.
I love it. And I'm like, yeah, it's about to happen. If you as soon as they mention that's like never on the board, like it's on the board.
As soon
Like
as a character describes somebody's smell, I'm like, they gonna be fucking.
are they like can't quit talking about their eyes?
Right.
Can we quit?
Can we
There's only so many ways to describe a set of eyes. I'm
when
sorry.
they enter the room, the whole world stops. I'm like, no, fucking shit. You got a mate,
Right.
okay? The rarest
There's a
bond in the world, once
pull.
again,
There's a
is
pull,
here.
obviously. Mates, let's go. I'm still gonna read it. Like, I'm
Absolutely, I
still
am because
gonna
I'm gonna
read
be like,
it.
ooh, a set of mates.
Because it also typically is like the best banter back and forth ever most of the time. And I'm like,
Yes,
that's what I'm here for, is the
that's what I'm here for.
sassy
Absolutely.
one
I
that's
will.
like, no, F off. Like, I don't want to,
Yes,
like, leave me alone.
yes.
But
The grumpy
one time I
sunshine.
need someone to write in a book with it's like romantasy with that trope where they're going to the end. Like, if there's one room in that bed, I'm slicing your throat. Like, I just need
Exactly.
that in a book, like, one time.
Be like,
Like,
I'm sleeping outside.
yeah, like the one bed trope is hilarious, but
It
like, can we please
is.
acknowledge just like one time of a character? It's like if there's only one bed in there, I'm stabbing you or
I'm sad at
something.
you. Well,
Like,
it's kind of that kind of happened with Rowan and Aelin and Air of Fire. I thought that was going
kinda.
to be a moment. I mean, okay, so also Rowan and Aelin, he punched her in the face. Bop! Just at like, quit being a bitch. And I'm like,
But in
and
his
Aelin
defense,
just
she also tried to swing on him.
she did. But
Like,
I'm just like, we're all okay with that, but somehow, like, we're okay with Rowan punching Aelin in the face, but we're not okay for Feyre putting Nesta in the House of Wind when she was clearly on a self-destructive behavior spiral.
but even with that though, like Feyre gave her time to try to heal.
absolutely.
They
She
was like,
invited her to everything.
I tried to give you time to do what you needed to do to give you space, let you know
Hmm.
I was here. Like, and everyone was complaining about that. Like, they were all deeply traumatized. I don't,
Absolutely.
I don't, well, okay. I never lived in the same house as a sister. Okay. Like, I
Right.
have an older stepsister, but we never
Yeah.
shared space.
Right.
So, I don't understand that dynamic.
I
Okay.
have a sister. You've
Right.
witnessed many of my.
I've witnessed y'all's sister
Yeah.
dynamic, but
Yeah.
I'm also like,
Side note,
yeah.
readers or listeners or whoever you are, Instagram followers, we've been friends for like 20 plus years since we were children together.
Yes.
And my sister, you know what? We've got to have Megan on the podcast.
Yeah,
Megan's
will she
got to
do
be a
it?
special guest. Absolutely, she would.
Okay. Uh,
Um, Megan and I, our relationship is very good now. And it was very good even as kids.
right,
But
but
it was very much the I was the older sister, she's the younger sister. I'm gonna slam the door in your face, like stay the fuck out of my room.
right, but at the
But
same
really, I
time,
wouldn't
like
care if you were in there at all.
siblings disagree and
Yes,
fight. Like me and my
yes,
brother fought,
yes,
okay, and then got to be adults and we're a lot closer. Like
yeah,
I'm gonna mess with you, but nobody else better lay a hand. Like,
absolutely.
and so like there's three sisters. Anytime there's more
Mm-hmm.
than two, someone's getting left out. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's just how that dynamic works. But it's like their mother deeply traumatized all of them. We
Yeah,
don't
she
even know the
did.
depths of Elaine's.
Yeah.
Like we kind of do, but like we don't. But I'm
I
like,
can't wait for her book. Like, I know most people are really like not having it and want her to be with Asriel. I love
I just don't
Asriel. It's
think
just,
they're
I don't see it's gonna,
mates.
I don't either.
I
I
don't
think
think
there's
they're mates,
something
and
weird
I
about
don't.
her mates.
I think there's something weird. I don't think Lucian is her mate either. You want me to share my
Either.
unhinged theory on this
I
one?
do. You know I love it.
So, my theory on this is I do not think Lucian's actually her mate. I don't think Azriel is either, but I think somehow when they were in Hybrid and she goes into the cauldron, Reese thought quick enough to fake the mating bond between Lucian because he needed a way to keep Feyre's sisters safe, and he knew if he could pull Lucian, who is loyal. You say what you want about Lucian, he's a ride or die for
Hmm.
his people.
He is.
That would keep them safe.
Well, that's a great theory.
That's my theory. And and the rarest bond of them all.
Yeah.
Everyone we see, everyone loves each other, gets along well, is like,
Right.
but Reese even says like his parents were mates and like it wasn't a good thing.
Right. And
Like
like they
he
even
says a
talk
lot of
about like
them,
rejecting the mating bond.
yeah, but he says like a lot of times it pulls you to someone that's like not a good fit, but
Hmm.
that's just what the Cauldron says. So, but like I think he's using it for political gain or to keep the peace right now.
I
But I
like
think
it.
that's also why he's trying to get Azriel to stay away because he's trying to save Tamlin. Because Tamlin,
Mm.
my hot
Tamlin's
take,
not a bad guy. Okay.
no,
Okay,
he's
guys.
not.
He
He's
is
just,
traumatized and hasn't healed.
but I really want to see him to get the redemption arc he deserves because I think he's done way more than
I
we know to take care of Reese.
Oh, absolutely. He definitely and like
Like, because they were
I
friends, and
yep.
because I don't think he let them kill Reese's sister. I think
No,
he
I think
trans
he threw her in the pool of starlight and she's Rune's mom, but
But I think he did his magic on one of their random soldiers, and that's whose head they
yep.
sent to Reese down the river because they had to send proof. So like he
Yep.
got, and I don't think Tamlin was able to save his mom.
Mm-mm.
But I think when he realized they were going after his sister, he made a move.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so, yes. Like
All
I
right.
did see a cool theory the other day where people think like she was enchanted like Snow White and was in the Spring Court Manor, like asleep. I don't think that's possible since
That
they like trashed that manor and like where would she be hidden? But like it was cool theory.
wow, I
Because
like
technically like people
that.
say there's a
I'm
lot of
like
beauty
fully
and
leaned
beasts
back
like
into like
taking that, but like I thought it was cool, but I like it better that like the Starlight pulls a portal and she
mm-hmm.
ended up in Lunathian. Or
For
like on
sure.
a Valen or something,
Yeah,
like
somewhere.
um
I
but
just
I think she was either Tamlin's mate or
mm-hmm.
Asriel's mate.
One of the two.
Because Asriel's like you would know if Nesta was dead.
Yeah.
Makes me
See,
feel like
like
he's lost his mate.
mm-hmm. Also, I don't think that he like we obviously know more is LGBTQ hashtag Happy Pride Month.
Right.
But
I don't think
at
he's
the
in love
same
with her.
time, he's not in love with Moore. He's spying on her. I'm convinced. You can't. And you know what?
So,
whenever that theory comes out that it's not right, I will gladly say I was wrong. But I think his
Fair.
shadows know that Moore is, she's the Morrigan, and her power is truth, kind of like in freaking Sailor Moon or something. But like, she is a liar.
I think
Eris
that's what it
flat
means when
out
it's like
calls her a liar.
her power is truth is to manipulate truth.
Absolutely.
Like
Anything can
that's
be true if you say it with confidence.
right. But I'm saying like there's a reason like Eris is like ask her what happened.
Right.
We also have to remember Eris was a really young person when all that went
Mm-hmm.
down. He was
Yep.
not very old. He was like a
Mm-mm.
teenager. I think
Right.
if you go back and like do the timeline, he would be say
Yep.
like 16.
Right.
So like I think there's a reason he dropped her like let them drop her over on the night court because he knew she'd be found.
Absolutely.
But
I just like everything about her is so secretive, and
mhm.
she's got
Well,
so
who was
much depth.
watching her at her like random
Yeah,
country
and like
home?
she's got a random country home like outside of the world, and
Which I don't blame her because like her people suck under the mountain, or not under the mountain, but at the
yeah,
Hewn City. So I'm like,
yeah.
I don't blame her, but I'm like, that's odd because they don't ever mention that till then.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
also, here's my other hot take from A Court of Thorns. You're seeing it through Feyre's lens, and she's dumb. Like, I'm
And she
sorry.
finger paints.
I love
Paintings
that
are
one.
finger paints.
Like,
I love that theory. I because like everybody on like when she goes down to like the rainbow and stuff like that, they're
they're always
all
like,
like,
oh,
"It's her."
yeah, like, oh. But
No, it's
it's
finger painted.
just, but you have to remember, like, most of the Akatar series is from her point of view. That's why
Yep,
in Silver Flames people get mad. They're like, Reese is different. Like, no, it's because it's not his mate that you're seeing the lens
exactly.
through.
It's
It's
his
Nesta,
sister-in-law.
who's like, no, boy, I don't care who
I don't
you
fuck with
are.
you,
Yeah, like, but it
Mister.
cracks me
You know
up.
what? You know what? Nesta sees Reese as Batty from Fern Gully. That's what it is.
There it is. We have our answer. That's why.
That's it.
That's
That's
why
what it
she's
is.
like, this isn't my court.
This
Like,
isn't
she's
my
not.
court. And then she's like,
Uh,
"Okay, High Lord." She
But
taps that
it
little wire.
Yeah, but it does crack me up how she's like, this isn't my court. But I think that's just because she couldn't accept like truly not being human
Right.
anymore. But like she understands Azriel so well.
Absolutely, she does. And
Like, and
Azriel understands her.
well, like she's connected with some of the most traumatized people. Emery and
Absolutely.
Gwen, like she reached out in the other priestesses, like, and she went
Right.
about it in such a cool way. Like I loved in Silver Flames when it's like Cassian's like going to talk to Clotho, and Clotho's like, she's
Yeah.
doing this. He's like, she's doing what?
What? Huh.
And then it's
Nesta?
like he's like Nesta is like out in the open and like he has no idea what she's doing
Yeah.
until she does it. But I'm like, how genius is that
Right.
for women who have been extremely hurt
Right.
by the male variety to see
Absolutely.
one who is powerful. Like
Right.
he is the head general for a reason, all right? Like what says Cassian's a warrior. Yes. Um, but that he's respectful.
Hmm.
Like he's even, and people want to like say, "Oh, he's not to Nesta." He's very understanding to Nesta, and like
Absolutely.
if he ever finds that dude to try to lay hands on her, he's dead.
Hey, for
Like
sure.
he said, "Give me a name." Like
Yeah, I'm sure he's
early
already taken
on,
care of.
but like even when she was still human, he knew something was up, and he was like,
Absolutely.
"Who?" I
Who is
will
it?
them. Who is it? And she's like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Mm-mm, not gonna tell you that.
But that's the thing, like he's never like pushed that limit or
Right.
anything, even though Silver Flames was a very spicy book compared to the rest of the series.
It had some good. It's got a nice place in my memory.
I enjoyed that. That one's probably my favorite book of that series.
I really liked it.
Just because you see
Now,
such a change in everything. I do not like how they
yes,
lied to Feyre and like all of that.
that was rude.
It
Like
was rude.
if my sister lied to me about something really important, I would be so mad.
Well, Nesta
I
didn't. Nesta got Philip and marched down them
Nessa,
10,000 steps and was like, somebody's about to.
somebody's gonna deal with this, and guess
Yeah.
what? You're gonna die. But
Yeah.
can you
She
imagine like your
regretted it, but I'm
husband?
just like,
Did she?
Daniel
Did she
Leach? No,
really regret
ma'am.
it? I
Daniel
mean,
Leach, no, ma'am, is never gonna do it.
mm-mm, mm-mm. No, you're not gonna hold a
Um,
secret like that. But
but
like at
also,
the same time, they don't know about C-sections.
they can put your guts back in, but they can't do a C-section. Like they can heal wings where you can continue to fly.
But you can't. Yeah,
I
I don't know.
I'm just saying. So it's
I'm
gotta
just
be
saying.
more like I'm just like that whole I'm like this is why I don't like the pregnancy trope.
Uh,
Like I think it's
whenever
great, but this is why I don't like it when it's thrown in there. Like then you throw weird complications in there. I'm like,
right, and I'm just like, I
could you
love
just say
ACOTAR
like,
series, yeah, but
yeah, like
like
she was pregnant, so
that
she can't
almost
do her
ruined it.
magic because it could stress a baby. Like whatever, fine,
Yeah, and
okay,
just
I
leave
get
it at
it.
that.
Yeah,
But the fact that you're like, oh, and by the way, we don't have C-sections here. We've got toilets,
we
but we
got
don't have
indoor plumbing,
but
but
we don't
like
know
we
about
can't.
C-sections. I guess we
Um,
can't sterilize the
which
tools. I
does
don't
crack
know.
me up. They'll have indoor plumbing, but not lights. So they use candles, but they can flush a toilet and run a bathtub.
In my
What?
head,
I don't focus on it when I'm reading it, but when you look back and think about it, you're
right?
like,
You're just like holding Lumiere walking around the castle.
that's what I pictured the House of Wind. Because it's like an ascendant
Right.
house, like it's an ascendant being. I'm like, I just picture like all the things from Beauty and the
Straight
Beast are alive.
straight up think the House of Wind is the house from Encanto. Like with the doors are like
Oh, yeah. I
and
just
I'm
like I'm
like,
like, can I live in a house that gives me chocolate cake and books?
right. And she like gives you like good books. First off, she made you learn the history of it, but then she's like, here you go, sissy. Enjoy.
Yeah, give me all them romantasy books and some sci-fi stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
I'll be trapped in a house, have to walk down the stairs. I don't care.
I'm not
I'll get
walking down the
a
stairs. I'm not leaving. I'm like, okay, there are two things. First off, you're trapped in a house with chocolate cake and books, unlimited, and it's beautiful, and no one is bothering you. I'm not leaving. Second of
done.
all, no one, if they were put in Feyre's situation at the spring court, would be like, no, this is horrible. You tell me I can walk around and be a princess all day, and all I have to do is just like figure out what the ball is gonna be and deal with our Anthony, who is a hoe.
I don't
But
do dresses. I don't like dresses, so that I'm out on
you
the
can
Supreme
wear
Court.
whatever you want. You get to plan
But
the
also, like,
parties.
when she was first there and all the Fae were glamored, how bizarre was that waking up and realizing that Alice was a
Hysterical.
freaking tree person? I pictured, like, Tree and Isengard from Lord of the Rings. I'm like, what? I was like,
Can
this is.
you imagine how shooketh? Can you imagine being part of
And thinking
Tamlin's
she's like,
manor and
but
she's
like,
like,
seriously, she's sneaking around. There's like 50 staff there.
and everybody is just like,
Look at the
and,
poor
and
human.
they were like, Tamlin,
Please tell her.
please just tell her because this is so. And she's like, I feel a presence, and you're just like, yeah, it's a person that don't look like a person.
No. It's so
Mm-mm-mm.
funny. Like, there's so
It
many
is.
things that I'm like, it was funny to me. Like,
It. I mean, it's just some of the things. Like I reread ACOTAR because I just love Elizabeth Evans,
oh
and
yeah, she does such a good job in that. Um,
as soon as I found out that like she was re narrating the books because like I think that is the biggest downfall. And side note, if you're a narrator, congratulations, you're doing something that I can't because I sound like cornbread. If you are an accomplished audible narrator, that is amazing. Um,
it's a lot of
Elizabeth,
work because they
it
have to be like in
is.
a room with like no airflow, no extra noise,
No,
nothing.
it's like a soundproof
Like,
room, and you can't even like
yeah,
snot your nose. But it's Elizabeth Evans. Oh,
it's
the
so good.
depth, the depth. And then I was kind of pissed at Book Talk for a little bit because they were like, I feel like Aylin's reading me a bedtime story. You didn't feel like Aylin was reading you Crescent City.
That's it, like she did all the other ones, just
She did
not the
all the
ACOTAR
her
series.
Feyre
Like,
voice, her Aylin voice, and her Bryce voice are all very similar.
but that's the same way with any narrator.
Yes, you
Like,
don't like you just understand the
I
depth
can't think
of
of the female narrator in Quicksilver, but Anthony Palimi does the male voices. He also is
yeah.
in the Plated Prisoner series. So, like,
Oh,
Slade
King
Raffinger and
Midas.
Kingfisher have the same voice. Like, you know, but like, but you can pick it up and just like his carrion voice is like one of my
Mm-hmm.
other favorite characters in that series. But it's
Oh,
just
I love
like
Carrion.
I do too, but like the voices are similar. And then there's
Mm-hmm.
another book that he is one of the narrators in, and the girl is the same one from another one I've read. I can't think of her name,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I don't. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Like, but like, of course, it's going to be the similar voice. They're a person. They
Right.
only have so many
Right.
options. But how do you keep all
Absolutely.
those options straight?
I don't know,
I
man.
I I hope all the audiobook narrators get all the contracts and they get to do
And
that
they
because a
should
lot of them work
be
other jobs. Like it is, a lot of them do other jobs.
and they should not have to because they
No,
narrate my
like I
books
hope they
and
get
they are the
all the
ones that
things.
hold the gate to my fantasy world. So,
Because of audiobooks, it lets me read a whole lot of books in a year.
absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
so, but it's again that, and I don't understand. I book talk kind of drives me crazy sometimes. So,
It does me too.
but
Um, but at the same time, where would we be without book talk? Like, I think it's like anything, it can get,
yeah,
it can
I,
get polluted. And I just feel like at some point we have to acknowledge the fact that people can have different opinions. And as
right.
long as that opinion is not harmful, it's okay to have another opinion.
Well, if people get back to talking about books,
Mhm.
like why they enjoyed the book, let's
Mhm.
go. Like, there's gonna
Yeah.
be books I enjoy that you don't enjoy, and vice
Yeah.
versa. Like, we don't
Like
we
Iron Flame. That'll be
it
a
serves
whole
it serves
that'll be
its
a whole
purpose.
episode. It
It serves its
does. It
purpose.
does. It does. And the purpose
Um,
was to annoy me, I think.
I'm
But
your girl to tell you how anything ends that you don't feel like finishing reading. It's fine, I'll tell
absolutely
you.
same. If
So,
I've read it, I will
summarize
spoil it if you
session.
want it.
We'll have it over chips and queso, and I'll tell you how it ended. It's fine.
That's just the best.
Um, but I think we're at a fairly decent stopping point.
I do
I
too.
know.
I think we've covered a
Um,
whole lot. Of course, there's so many more theories, and we would love to hear what you have to say. So
Absolutely.
please
And
drop
we'll
your
probably
hot
do another
takes.
episode on SJM verse of
Absolutely. You
hot
could do a whole
takes,
episode on
theories, and
Ameren
everything.
all by
Like,
herself, and we barely even scratched the surface of Ameren. Um,
my last hot take is I think she's secretly a villain. But anyway.
I think so too, but
I
maybe
think
not in
she's
the same
biding her.
way.
I think she's biding her time.
I
Um,
think she wants out.
right. I think she's biding her time, and she's going to be a villain to get out to go home. And I think,
Absolutely.
and I
And I
think
think more is
Reese
going to
is
be
okay
part of
with
that
sending her
betrayal.
home. I think so too.
hmm
But
But that's
um,
another time, more
another
research.
time. Thanks for listening. If you're still here,
Thanks, guys.
so
This we've enjoyed it.
absolutely.
Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram.
All the fun things. All
We'll
right.
drop another episode soon.
Yes. I want to end
Bye,
the
guys.
recording.